You look like you've run into a bit of trouble, haven't you? How did you get that wound? I'm sorry, did you say a goblin? As in, just one? Surely you must be joking. You have all that armor, and your sword looks decent. But you couldn't even beat one little green man? Oh, I guess I misheard. A gremlin, then. My apologies. You probably should have let me believe it was the goblin, because that is so much worse. Gremlins are barely a foot tall. All that equipment can't make a weakling suddenly strong, you know. Oh, so you dealt it a fatal wound in the end. Well then, do excuse me for my jesting. I didn't realize I was in the presence of such a skilled warrior. I am sure everyone in town will be singing songs of your heroics. Still, I suppose they are very aggressive. It tore up your ankle pretty badly, didn't it? Getting stuck with a wound like that in the middle of the woods can be dangerous. You would be easy prey for the things that like to come out at night. Ooh. Fortunately for you, I'm a mage, and I'm quite skilled at healing magic. I can have this healed in just a few minutes. Would you like my help? I'd be willing if you ask me very nicely. Oh, mighty gremlin slayer. I'm not sure I like your tone. You don't sound very grateful. I don't actually have to help you. If I want to, I can just keep walking and leave you to your fate. If I want to poke fun at you for being a fool while I do so, well, you'll just have to accept that, won't you? That's better. Let me get a better look at your ankle then. This is actually quite a grisly wound. If you hadn't been fortunate enough to meet someone with healing magic right after this happened, you could have been stuck with a permanent limp. How long did you let that gremlin tie you up before you managed to hit it? I know I'm sounding very harsh, but I only speak this way to you because I've seen too many young, intrepid monster slayers die because they thought they were invincible. You are trying to be a monster slayer, aren't you? You're all geared up for battle here in the forest, known for being infested with weak monsters after all. I thought so. Well, if you want some tough advice, I would tell you to give up on this idea altogether. It's not nearly as glamorous as you're probably imagining it to be. Just imagine what would have happened if your herd encountered a monster as big as you. As it happens, yes. I wouldn't say that I'm a full-time monster slayer, but I do collect bounties on monsters as sort of a side business. You might think that, but I'm actually better armored than you. Look. All the monsters in this area are small, so the place that's most important to keep covered is your legs. This thick cloth padding does a great job at protecting against bites. And aside from that, I have a protection spell on top of that. Your armor looks impressive, but it's not at all suited for this area. It doesn't protect your legs well at all, and all this metal up top just makes you easier to topple. Well, the healing is going well. I've stopped the bleeding, but I still need to reconnect your tendons. Can you shift your leg for me a bit? Yes, like that. So, you're still determined to be a monster slayer? Well, you can do as you wish. I advise against it, but who knows? Perhaps you'll learn from this experience and actually become halfway competent. And I'll grant you that you have some good qualities. Many people would give up on fighting monsters after losing to the lowliest of them. You must be persistent, if nothing else. And you were at least smart enough to let me help you, even after I teased you. Easily wounded pride is probably the worst personality trait for a monster slayer to have. If you're able to set aside your feelings and do what needs to be done, then you at least have a shot at making it as a professional. Not to mention, you have this cute, innocent demeanor. Makes me want to give you a nice pat on the head. Maybe you can use that to lull monsters into a false sense of security, Okay, fine. Maybe you look a little tough if I squint a bit. Anyway, that should just about do it. Your ankle has been healed. You shouldn't have any long-term side effects, just so long as you don't let it rest for a while. The flesh is a little bit tender from the healing process, so for at least the next few days, you shouldn't do anything strenuous with it, or you might tear something. If you're able, get your hands on some healing tonic. That will go a long way towards making sure it doesn't get injured again. Really, you should keep some on you anyway, if you're planning on fighting for a living. Well, so long then. Hopefully I'll see you again someday. Assuming you haven't managed to get yourself killed before then. Oh, why? Whatever is the matter? Surely our business is concluded. You seem so offended by all those things I said. I would expect that you wouldn't want to have anything to do with me anymore. I'm just teasing you. You're more than welcome to come with me. As it happens, I was just on my way to the nearest town. I would appreciate the company. You're fun to tease. Oh, but then again, it would be awfully inconvenient if I had to rescue you from another monster attack. I wonder if I really should. Tell you what. You can come with me if you ask me very nicely, just like you did before. It's much better. You're so much more pleasant to be around when you're being polite, you know. Oh, I learned magic from my parents, actually. It's a bit of a family tradition. It's very useful, even if you're not trying to become a professional mage. There are all sorts of uses for it. I'm a bit surprised you even asked. Most people are a little uncomfortable about the subject of magic. Of course, everyone acknowledges its usefulness, but there's always been a sort of distrust around its practitioners. To many, mages are almost a necessary evil. You're not curious about learning magic, are you? Interesting. Hoping it will make you a better monster slayer, I suppose. Well, you'd probably be better with magic than you are with a sword, in my opinion. It's not saying much, but it's something. There are a few magic schools scattered around the world. If you're curious, you can visit one of them. Though, keep in mind that the types of mages that teach in such schools are usually a bit eccentric. Now I have to ask, are you really asking because you're curious about magic? Or are you actually curious about me? Oh, a bit of both then. Well, I'm flattered you find me so fascinating. Was there anything in particular you were curious about? Any burning questions? Oh, that? Well, I just tend to do a bit of this and a bit of that. Not to boast, but when you have the kind of skill with magic that I do, people who want to pay for your services just tend to find you. People in need of healing, villagers terrorized by monsters, researchers in pursuit of knowledge, all sorts of things like that. Oh yes, I wander all over the world. It's not always the most glamorous life. A lot of sleeping outside and wearing torn clothes. But there's something quite satisfying about being able to go anywhere you like on a whim. You seem to be very intrigued. It does make it hard to make connections. Are you sure you would be comfortable with that? Isn't there anything waiting for you at home? Oh, I see. I had assumed that you were from the local town. Most novice monster slayers start in their own backyard, so to speak. So you already cut connections with everyone you knew, In that case, we have something in common. I unfortunately had a bit of falling out with my family. I left to find a new place to call home, but in the end, I never really did. I just kept traveling. Oh, I suppose it must sound a bit sad, but I'm not unhappy with that way of living. if you ask me, life is all about new experiences. And really, how many new experiences can you have when you're always stuck in the same place with the same people? Exactly. You know, you might be a bit naive, but we do think alike in some ways. To my surprise, I'm finding that I actually like you. I'm sorry. Could you repeat that? I think I misheard you. Oh. I heard you right the first time then. Well, that's certainly an interesting offer. So you want me to join you, I assume you mean that you want me to help you with your monster slaying, form a party? Well, I don't know about that. Let's not forget, I'm the one who came to your rescue. It sounds to me like you get a lot more out of it than I do. You get a powerful and experienced mage to help you. Plus, you get to decide where we go and what we do. Meanwhile, I suppose I get your company, and you are charming, I'll admit. But I would be giving up quite a lot. Oh, now that's not fair. That sad little crestfallen face is tugging at my poor, poor heartstrings. Cheer up. I said that I wouldn't join you, but it just so happens that I would be open to someone asking to join me, but only if they ask me very nicely. You know how I like that? Oh, would you be interested? Well, let me think about that. Oh, all right. I'll stop teasing you for now. Yes, you can join me on my journey. I could use an assistant. Now, you still get a lot out of this, you know. You can learn to be a true monster slayer with my help. I'll even teach you some magic. And trust me, you'll be better off following my lead. I'm the more experienced out of the two of us, obviously. If you don't mind though, I have a few conditions for bringing you along. Until you can really carry your own weight, I'm taking all the payment for our jobs. I'll pay for things you need, like food and equipment. Once you've gotten the hang of things, you can get a cut of the profit to spend as you like. And when we're out on a job, you need to do exactly as I say. Sometimes I take dangerous jobs and I need to know that you won't decide to randomly go off on your own and do your own thing. And finally, don't take it too hard when I tease you. I only tease people that I like. So it just means that you're worth my time. Does all of that sound alright to you? Wonderful. I'm glad I ran across you. It's been a bit lonely on the road, and I think you'll make for a splendid companion. Or, well, a passable one, anyway. Now, what was the third rule? It's only a joke. Now, come with me. I was just on my way to the mayor to discuss a problem they've been having with missing livestock. I think you'll be very helpful.